Hey, how's it going, guys? Domino Paris 21 here, and back again to bring you guys another locals report for you all. So this past week of locals was definitely another great one for me, as it usually is. You know, every time I attend every week at my locals, we had a pretty good turnout at our tournament. I think we had like 18 to 20 people, and not only that, our prize pool was actually increased a little bit. So definitely a great opportunity to try and gain some more prizes with my Eradicator deck. Now I did make some changes, and I would actually say improvements, as opposed to my first deck profile that I have featured on my channel already. That deck profile, with that deck, I actually was already playing some card choices I was a little questionable about, and with further testing, I definitely found a build that really worked out perfectly for me. So definitely happy with the results that this deck gave me at the tournament. Overall, I did make top four. Top four, we did split the prizes. We didn't feel like playing further than that. We played 4 rounds of Swiss, best 2 out of 3, cut to top 8, and then we just played best of 1 and top 8. So as always, rather than getting packs and such, I'm always getting sleeves. So I always keep stocked up on sleeves because it's very expensive to double sleeve like 8, 9 different decks, which I own. But yeah, other things too. I actually was able to nab 2 SP Gauntlet Buster Dragons. Still looking for 2 more, because I'm definitely looking at SPing out Gauntlet Busters. Definitely, I think he's like easily my favorite card in the deck. Overall, in terms of the tournament scene, I mean, definitely there was a few Eradicator players, including myself, a few Gold Paladin players as usual, including a few Liberator players, and actually even some other different builds for Gold Paladins like Garmore, Ezel, and such. And there's like Nova Grapplers. My good buddy Warlike was actually playing Pale Moon and such. So, and Jewel Knights, I think, and Jewel Knights definitely topped locals too as well. So who knew? Even though I feel like Jewel Knights is definitely still a good viable deck. And actually, I want to give a shout out to my friend's younger brother Vincent, which I like to call him the Savage Warrior. But he actually played MLB, which I still feel is still a very viable deck even to this day in this meta. And he was actually playing a very close build to mine, which I have profiled on my channel and featured as well. So definitely shout out to him. Good job to you, dude, for making as far as you did, and you definitely played very well. So you definitely deserve the top 4. So yeah, overall the deck worked out amazing for me, like I said, for my Eradicators. Overall, round 1, I'm just going to make this a little brief in terms of the report, but round 1, I played against Nova Grapplers Beast Deity build. I think it was like the Azure Dragon Luminal Cross Ride. Overall, Nova Grapplers just have a bad matchup against Eradicators, so just me taking advantage of that matchup, I was able to win 2-0. Round 2, playing against my good buddy Andrew, who has his Liberator deck profile featured on my channel. I guess, like, game 1, I guess you can say overall he sacked me with a lot of triggers, but then game 2 I sacked him with triggers, and the game 3, we had a very back and forth game, but a very good clutch break ride on his part, and hitting a nice key critical trigger and a second trigger, which I can't really remember, when I was at 3 damage when I no guarded, really hurt me, since I didn't have a perfect guard at the time, so it dropped a lot of cards from my hand. It was really hard for me to come back from that, but hey, things happen. It was just a really good game overall, though. It just came down to whoever can hit their triggers better than the others and such, or whatever. But overall, I definitely enjoyed that game. But unfortunately, I did lose that round. But hey, win some, you lose some. Round 3, I played against Liberators again, against my good buddy Zakuro, as you guys probably seen featured on my channel. I was able to win 2-1. He did get grade locked like game 3, which I kind of felt bad, but hey, you gotta take advantage of it. And plus, I mean, I got sacked a few games, so I'd say, it goes around to everybody, so, everyone gets their share. Game 4, and then round 4, I've actually played against my good buddy Joey, who was actually playing Eradicators as well, and we both have been kind of like theorizing with each other about different builds, but mainly, like, he mains Gauntlet Buster as I do, so it was a really good back and forth game we had. And then until it was kind of like similar with round 3. Game 3, he was kind of grade stuck for a few turns, so I just tried to take full advantage of that. And yeah, so I was able to win that game. It was a really good round. I kind of wish I recorded it, but I didn't really have my camera at the time. But yeah, overall after 4 rounds, I was 3-1, X1. So we made it up to top 8. So top 8 was best of 1. So I got paired up against my good buddy Ryan, who was playing Garmore, Ezel, and Platinum. Like, it's Gold Paladins, obviously, but I'm just gonna say it's Garmore Ezel because I hardly ever see his Platinum Ezel, which I think he plays. But yeah, overall, my experience playing against that deck for a while definitely was a good advantage for me. And Eradicator is just a very powerful deck. I mean, it's just really hard for a lot of decks to really outpace this deck if it's really running at its best. So, you know, when played right, when running at its best, definitely there's not many decks out there that can really, you know, keep up. So overall, just that matchup and my experience was able to help me overcome that game. So I was able to win, made top 4. So really pleased with the results. Got a bunch of sleeves as you see, so really happy about that. So yeah, overall, just another great day of locals. So before I let you guys go, let me, as always, I will actually go over my deck list with you all. So let me actually just get my stuff together real quick. Sorry, I'm usually a little more organized. Alright, so, of course for my starter, Linshu, I mean, he's like arguably the best starter in the game. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. Grade 3s, I am running the 4 Gauntlet Busters and 3 Descendants. 4 Gauntlet Busters, I mean, Gauntlet Busters is just amazing. He is the ideal card I prefer to ride first. Just because I like to try and control the field my opponent's while my opponent's field is small, and I like pressuring with those extra crits you can stack on him. And Descendant, of course, is just like the best finisher in the game, arguably. But I didn't run the break rides. I actually cut the break rides just because I found Vanguard just be a little too inconsistent for me a lot of the time. So you know, every time I'm sitting on a Vowing Sword, I kind of just wish he was a Gauntlet Buster or even a Descendant, just so I can start pressuring sooner to my opponent. So I decided just to run the 7 grade 3s, and it just worked out perfectly for me. So you definitely don't need to run break rides in the deck. And then grade 2s, still the same. 4 Spark Rain Dragons, 4 Choho, definitely Choho, one of the MVPs in the deck. Fact is, I am running 4 Gauntlet Busters. He just synergizes so well with Gauntlet Busters. It's amazing. And then I am running 3 Thunder Booms. I actually cut my Zoitons from the deck just because I felt Zoiton was more of a luxury than a need. I usually don't even get Zoiton's skill off to unflip damage anyway. And he's like good turn, like Zoiton's good turn 2 to essentially get Linshu off for free. But Thunder Boom with the 10k body, it's really good to like block an Escrod. Like if you're facing like Liberators, it's good to block like an Escrod that's hitting for like 14k usually. So you can just block it for 10. Turn 2 if you have Imager Vanguard, so it helps prevent any pluses. And he's decent in the mirror match, you know, obviously, you know, if your opponent has a Linshu with a 9k, you can block that as well. Zoiton, like I said, this is more of a luxury. Even if I get a skill off, a lot of times I didn't need the Counter Blast anyway, so I like the stability and consistency of the Thunder Boom Dragon, so I feel like he worked out a lot better. And then grade 1s, you have 4 Demolition Dragons, like just an amazing card overall. 4 Perfect Guards, 4 Shukis, definitely one of the MVPs in the deck, just being able to hit such huge numbers in your rear guards or just across your whole board. I actually had a few games where I had all 3 on board and I was just going off with Gauntlet Busters, so definitely an amazing card. And then 3 Casters. Of course, I did cut my 10k Vanguard booster just because I was already iffy on it beforehand, but I just wanted to just play it first just to see how I like it. But of course, you know, Casters are just a lot better. So I feel kind of dumb for not playing these first, but yeah, definitely Casters helped me a lot to, you know, fix any bad awkward hands. I actually did have a few games, and actually prevent me from getting Grade Lock a few games, so definitely a great card. So I say Casters a must to play in the deck. Right, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the triggers are the same. It's just 4 heal, 4 draw, 4 crit, all Eradicators, so really not much left there. So yeah, there you have it, guys. So there goes my tournament report for you all. As always, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video. That's always appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Share any of your personal experiences if you play Eradicators and such, or your personal experiences playing against this deck. You know, how do you feel about this deck in the current meta? Do you feel like it is worth all the hype? And if it is actually definitely one of the best competitive decks, definitely leave a comment down below and share your opinion on that. And definitely don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you hadn't. Well, other than that, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.